connected to the internet all day. That's you, friend of Don't Watch It, who has this video open on your phone or computer and probably spends 7 hours a day like that. Definitely. But it's not just me saying it, the data says it too. A few days ago, I shared several conclusions in another video about what we were doing when we were online, using data from GWI, Hootsuite, and Where Social. Let's delve a little deeper into the topic because there's a lot to cover. As of today, we are increasingly hooked on the internet. Yes, it's been 30 years since the launch of commercial internet and the connection time keeps growing. Amazing. In the following table, you can see how it has been increasing almost every year, except for 2019. What happened? Or rather, what didn't happen? What a boring year, right? In 2020, with the lockdown, it skyrocketed, and the upward trend continued last year. I believe that the internet doesn't just take away leisure time. It takes away from life as a whole, including friends, sports, food, sex, and sleep. Paradoxically, indeed, the time citizens spend on the internet is not greater in wealthy countries. With data from January 2022, the countries with the most hours of daily connection are South Africa, the Philippines, Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, and the Emirates, all of them developing countries, with more than 8.5 hours a day. On the other hand, Japan, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Germany. They are the ones who spend the least time connected, below 5.5 hours. It seems that higher education correlates with less connection, meaning that societies with higher education levels have more interests beyond the screen. Spain is close to a little over 6 hours a day, one less than the global average. Good for us. Another piece of data that I think is positive for society. Despite the increase in daily connection time, the percentage of that time we spend on social media has decreased. And less time on these apps is definitely very good. A world with less Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is a better world. In the previous episode of Don't Watch It, where we analyzed the behavior of internet users around the world, we saw that social media remained the second most intensive use of the internet. However, it seems to be declining from the peak experienced in 2019, that is even before the pandemic. Since that year, again, what happened in 2019? The minutes we dedicate to them have been slightly decreasing. And this is positive, because all the time we spend on social media watching other people's lives is time we stop living our own, isolating ourselves from the world. Isolating means we share less with others, and that is dangerous. Isolating yourself doesn't matter if it's with your neighbor in the next room, a family member, or a friend. A lonelier society is indeed a less cohesive society, less human, and ultimately less of a society. And because of this, there is a greater risk of being swayed by the dark side of social media, moving to the margins, the extremes, causing us to get along poorly with others. People are social animals. We need to see each other, touch each other, and be together no matter where we come from or what our social status is. We must consciously think about how to achieve this in a deliberate and thoughtful manner, and not leave it to mere chance. In the same way, a professor at a top global business school has a very, very serious perception problem if they believe the world is like the students they teach. I reflect on how to ensure my daughters don't think that the world is just their school, their friends, their family, and especially their social media. Sometimes I think it's less dangerous to give my daughters a gin and tonic once a week than to let them access certain Instagram accounts for an hour each day. It's less dangerous because I am clear that I definitely don't intend to leave in the hands of the Silicon Valley friends a bunch of people who want to monetize our way of socializing at any cost. And speaking of Silicon Valley, Valle-Inclán, one of the great exponents of the generation of '98, was left with his left arm paralyzed, just like Cervantes, although it seems that Ramon's injury was the result of a heated argument in a bar with his friend Manuel. Well, maybe if they had argued in a group WhatsApp chat, they would have lost their friendship, but in return, he would have kept his arm. It's a good trade. More ideas in the next Don't Watch It.